And so, sorry to break it to you, probably many of you were thinking, oh, it's going to be some drama video. He's got a cookbook. Iain Valliere, what a horrible coach. He doesn't want him anymore. He gave him the boot. Coach Greg, in today's video, Chris Bumstead reveals his new coach. And who is it? None other than Hani Rambod, one of the most famous coaches in all the world, has coached multiple Mr. Olympia competitors.
All right, so secret's out. Honestly, you can't even call it a secret.
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret.
No.
It didn't even try and keep it a secret. But
Not at all.
And what you may or may not know is that Chris Bumstead has only ever had one coach in his entire life. Ever since he was a teenager, he relied on the coaching of none other than IFBB Pro Mr. Olympia competitor Iain Valliere, who's done an exceptional job with Chris. He's won show after show and 3 Mr. Olympia titles. And so why would Chris switch? Are they having a beef? Are they no longer getting along? Is there some special reason as to why he had to switch coaches? No. Simple matter is, Iain Valliere is training harder than last time, really trying to focus on himself at the Olympia. And it's hard to coach 2 people at the same time. Think of it. They're both trying to win the Mr. Olympia. They're both competing at different times. And you simply can't give an athlete 100% when you're dieting the way Iain is for a competition. And so one of the things you may not understand is that coaching an athlete, it's not just about telling them what to eat and what supplements to take. That's what most people think. But for a guy like Chris with his genetics, of which he could literally win the title on his own, he doesn't actually need a coach. Let's be honest. Chris Bumstead could have selected any coach in the world. Any coach would be more than happy to coach Chris. It literally could make a coach's career. Think of it. If Chris had announced a different person coaching, they win the Olympia for a title, that person now becomes famous. They can coach way more clients. And so my personal opinion is Hani Rambod literally has more to gain than Chris does.
When we started talking originally, I think it was the Arnold, we were just talking.
First time we met.
The first time we were just, conversing. But later on, it was more about just, hey, what are your different techniques regarding, mental mindset and some of those other things.
But when you're looking for a coach when you're at Chris's level, what he needs is the mindset. He needs a coach that can understand him and tell him what to think and what to do. And normally Hani would say, well, I need an entire year to help prepare you. He's taking over with less than 3 months from the Olympia. But this shouldn't be concerning. Normally you'd think, well, could he screw it up? It's a new coach. What if he switches everything? He's not going to reinvent the wheel. Think of it. What Iain's done for 3 straight years has caused 3 Mr. Olympia titles.
But obviously, as I got to know Chris and be able to talk to him many, many hours on the phone, FaceTime, all those things, being able to understand kind of what the process is, what his process is, I felt like it was going to be something where I could definitely help.
And let's just say something was off. His prep isn't going quite as good as he'd hoped. You don't think Chris could call up his friend Iain and say, hey, Iain, what do you think I should do? Let's bounce off some ideas. I'm sure that Iain would be more than happy to help Chris. And so it's not as if he's completely abandoned him and he can never talk to Iain ever again about what to do.
Eventually, there were some videos that were made regarding us working together when we weren't working together. And the only thing that came about that was the conversation of eventually then working together.
And so this is really interesting. And so what they're talking about is that Nick Trilogy had made a video saying that Chris Bumstead was going to hire Hani as his new coach.
It actually started the conversation. It wasn't what was actually happening, which is really funny.
But the fact that he made the video caused them to start talking about it. And lo and behold, it happened after all.
And I called them and I was like, well, I've been we've talked about you helping me with my shit and, somehow it got out there, whatever. And then it blew up and I was like, so what do you think?
And Hani's thinking, why not? Of course I'll coach you. Who wouldn't want to coach Chris Bumstead?
And then obviously it was a very big decision because came from left field because I've never worked somebody who's somebody who's actually been winning the Olympia.
And I'm thinking, no, it wasn't. Imagine if Chris had said, hey, Coach Greg, you want to coach me for the Olympia this year? I'm thinking, are you kidding? Of course I'm going to do it. I can't think of a single person that would have said, no, Chris, I'm not interested in that opportunity. Probably wouldn't happen now, would it?
I mean, I don't think you were too fond that it 16 weeks out or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Because he says, like, I only work with people when I have a full year of off-season learning your body, getting where I want, and then we start prep. And I'm just starting prep like this, so.
But listen, as they've stated, this is neither of these guys' first rodeos. Chris has won 3 titles, and Hani has coached people to win 20. And it's not as if Chris is in horrible shape. He starts his prep at close to 10% body fat. And so I don't think hiring Hani this close to competition is somehow going to hinder his ability to win the Olympia title.
A little bit, but not fully, no. Everybody laughed at that at our house. Courtney and Calvin, they're like, oh my God, someone tell him what to do. I'm like, is that rare for me? But I guess so. So I know I can hear it though, and it'll be exciting to try something new, you know?
And Chris brings up another great point. It's exciting to do something new. After you've won titles so many years in a row, it can become kind of stagnant. It's almost a little bit boring. What you need to do to be a great bodybuilder year after year is to keep it exciting, to keep it interesting. And so just because something worked one year, the next year, the year after, doesn't mean you need to keep doing the same thing. If it's no longer enjoyable, it's not fun for you, then it is in fact time to mix things up. Even if you have the perfect workout, the perfect diet, it's amazing. It works wonders. But if eventually you don't like that workout anymore and you're sick of the foods that you're eating, even though it's perfect for you, it's no longer perfect now, is it?
It's been good so far. You know, not huge change and stuff. You got some FST7 sets we add in, little things. But overall, training is similar. It's intense. Keep your strength at the beginning of prep like I always do. I still get to do my heavy squats, my heavy presses, all that shit with a little tweaks on the end.
And so far, he's just tweaked a few things. He still trains the way he wants. He added a few different sets at the end. But when you're a coach, you don't simply say to the athlete, you need to do every single thing my way. A great coach listens to the athlete, learns how do you like training? How do you like eating? If somebody says, I want to eat 8 times a day, and you say, no, I don't do that. I need you to eat 4 meals a day. It's not going to work. Your thoughts, your way of doing things, they have to align. If you want to train really hard, train to failure and beyond, and a coach says, no, I never let my athletes train hard. I don't want them to train to failure. I believe in doing a ton of volume and you hate volume. You want to lift heavy. That's not going to work. And so the ideal coach is one that can listen to their client and make the necessary changes based on the feedback they're getting and still make an ideal program for them based on their own individual needs. And so sorry to break it to you. Probably many of you were thinking, oh, it's going to be some drama video. He's going to shit on Iain Valair. What a horrible coach. He doesn't want him anymore. He gave him the boot. Nothing could be further from the truth. They're still great friends. I'm sure Iain is wishing Chris the best and he wants him to win multiple Olympia titles. And I'm sure no matter what, Iain will always be there to help Chris to the best of his ability. And so let me know in the comment section, you think this is a bad move on Chris's part? Could this potentially affect him winning his 4th title? Should he have stayed with Chris? Is it okay to change? Let me know in the comment section. Also, looking for harder than last time supplements, as well as the cookbooks and coaching plans by me and my team, all that stuff, please use code GREG. You'll get 10% off. Visit htltsubs.com or click the link in the description. Subscribe, click the bell button. That's right, subscribe. Do it now. Did you do it? Click the subscribe button. Watch at least one of those 2 bloops. And until next time, I am out. Chris Bumstead finally reveals the identity. Chris Bumstead. Wow.